I grew up here. I was born in Turlock, but moved here when I was 4, I think, because I started school in Modesto. My parents had it built in 1958. My dad, he was in the banking business, the real estate business, appraisal business, and he knew Paul Zagaris, Paul is the one who developed Sherwood Forest, and he encouraged my dad to purchase a lot. My parents pinched pennies in order to do that. The plan was always that my husband, my late husband, and I were going to obtain this house and renovate it and then live here. My husband taught architecture in high school, and he always had an eye for architecture, and he was also a pretty good artist, and he drew plans for an addition. We didn't end up using them because they didn't really suit what we needed to do now. But I kept those. When the time came that my mom moved and she transferred ownership to me, that it was time, this whole idea that's been in my head and these plans that my husband and I had all these years was finally going to happen. I've never done a renovation before. I had no clue. I knew I had to hire a contractor. KHB popped up on Facebook. It was like one-stop shopping for me. It's like, oh, they have everybody. I don't have to go find this person and find that person. And that appealed to me because the easier this could be, the better. It worked out great because it was like I just handed it over to them. They knew what I wanted. They had the plans. They had, I met with Carrie Ann and I told her what was in my head. She was real good about listening to everything that I wanted and what my ideas were, and yet helping maybe some alternate ideas that she had that I didn't think of that worked in the whole design better. It was really smooth, and my friends would ask, what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna look like? My brother especially, he's a contractor, lives up in Truckee, what's it gonna look like? So I would send her drawings to them, and they all said, wow, that kitchen is huge. And I wanted to open up the space because, back in those days they made, every room was separate. And this was originally a family room. That was always the living room. And then the kitchen, and of course now everybody's, everything's open, which I prefer. Now we can have my family here and have room for everybody, especially here in the kitchen, because we were always bumping into each other in that little old kitchen. The master bath that whole addition, and the master was huge because what we did was turned the original master bedroom into the current master bath and walk-in closet. So the addition is now just the bedroom area with the carpet. That was huge because that was the whole part of, this was great, this was always an idea, but that was even bigger because it changed the whole look of that part of the house. Everybody was easy to work with. Everybody was polite, respectful. Griff especially, he would always stop what he was doing and talk to me and answer my questions and, let me talk and tell stories about the house and, my vision for all this. And there was no reason for me not to be able to communicate with the crew. I really enjoyed Builder Trend, and that app was fabulous. I see pictures every day. It lists which workers are here, what they're working on, what they've done, what they're planning to do. I'm gonna miss it, actually, because I check it every day. Having had this vision for so many years and not knowing if it would ever happen, having chosen KHB as my contractor, my company, my builder, it was a good choice. And now my vision, with their help, has finally happened. And I'm very grateful for that.